Day 65, 75 hard. This is an absolutely perfect fall morning for a walk. This is my last 75 hard update. This is the last 2 weeks combined. Here's some of the service I was privileged to be a part of the last 2 weeks. So last week was fall break, and so that's why I didn't post a video. I was helping out my kids, and kind of the theme for the whole week for me was to deny myself and focus on my kids. And I was thinking about this and how this has happened sometimes in my life where the Lord gives me specific things to do for a little season. When my kids were little, one time I lived in Utah and the Lord asked me to go to the temple every single week at 5 a.m. And it was a really big blessing in my life. I really enjoyed doing it and it was a really special time. But because of my season of life and where I live and my temple schedule, that's not something I can do anymore. And that's the same with other things that He asks us to do sometimes. It's not something He wants us to do every single day. And I know it's important to have self-care and to spend time on yourself and do things that are important for just you. But the feeling I felt during fall break was this is a season, this is a week where you just need to focus on your kids and deny yourself of the things you want to do and make sure that you're spending a lot of time with your kids. So you saw some of those videos of some of the things we did over fall break, and it was a really special time, an important time to spend with just my kids. Some of the service I did the week before, my daughter had an appointment far away and she was going to get back at school about lunchtime, but she really wanted to go to McDonald's on the way home. And if you know anything about me, I'm a little bit of a tightwad when it comes to eating out. And usually when the kids ask me to eat out, I say no because I don't want to spend the money. But I was just thinking about how important it is to focus on your kids and spend one-on-one time with them and help them feel loved and help them feel like you care about what they have to say and you care about their opinions. And so this time I said yes. And I got her some lunch, even though I knew economically she could have eaten lunch at school. I was just glad that we had that time and she felt like, hey, my mom cares about me and she cares about what I care about. Also, we attended a birthday party for one of our friends and I could tell that she was not doing super well. And it really made me sad and I just thought a lot about it on the way home and just thinking about all the difficult things going on in her life, none of the things I could do anything about. And I had the thought that I should put her name on the temple prayer roll. So for our church, we have a really cool thing in our temples. It's another place where we worship. You can put somebody's name on a prayer roll. And what that means is those in the temple will pray for that person for 2 whole weeks. And so I just thought this is something that's really special and there's nobody else that's putting her name on a temple prayer roll somewhere and it's going to make a difference in her life. Another thing that happened was I have a neighbor whose son is going through some medical challenges, and I've been asking her updates about it. And one of the days she was telling me about what was going on and how sad it was that he wasn't his normal self. And it actually brought tears to my eyes just thinking about him not being his normal self. And I just gave her a big hug. And I think sometimes when it's people that you're not used to hugging, it can be a little awkward. And she really appreciated it. I think it's important that you show people how much you care about them and that you love and that you feel empathy for them, that you feel what they're feeling, and so they don't feel so alone. Another time, my husband's name came up as somebody I needed to serve that day, and I think it's really important when you're married that you take time out of your life to serve your spouse so that they can feel loved. I know in our season of life, my husband is very busy and I'm really busy as well with different things. We're kind of going in different directions, and it's really important that you make time to serve your spouse and to make them feel loved. Another time I was cleaning something and it was actually my husband in my closet. And I was just thinking about how grateful he was going to be. And he's a really nice guy. He's not somebody who's going to be griping on how annoying it is that I'm not picking up my stuff. But I knew it was something that he was really going to appreciate. And so I was glad I was able to do that. Another time I was cleaning, and normally I don't go into my kids' rooms and clean. I have them do their own thing. But I walked in there and I decided that my girls' mirrors, they have these vanities where they do their makeup, and both of them were pretty dirty. And so I decided to wipe them down. And just as I was wiping them down, I was thinking about how they're really going to appreciate this, because that's something that probably a teenager is not going to think to do, is to clean their mirror. But it's something that's really going to make their quality of life better. And lastly, one night, instead of just vegging on the couch, I decided to go outside with my kids and throw the soccer ball around. And they always love it when I'm out there. And my son actually came up to me and gave me a big hug. And he just said, "Mom, I'm so glad that you're out here with us." And so it's really just important to remember that you do make a difference and people want you to be involved. So those are my service stories for this week. And I'm planning on doing a big 75 hard video just where I talk about all of my reflections, all of the lessons I've learned over the last 75 days. So I'm going to leave it at that, and you'll be able to watch that later this week. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.